What's up, everybody? I am the dancery that Mary J. Blige said that it would not be any hateration in.
I am the black unicorn.
And I am just Mary.
I'm just Mary, just Mary, just Mary.
We need to get a clip.
And we are
Mert in the Midwest.
And welcome back, Mid-Merkers. That's what we went with, right?
Yeah.
Mid-Merkers. And if you are looking for a podcast that gets straight to the point, a podcast where you know exactly what's going to happen each episode, a podcast where they do not laugh or talk or have any type of fun whatsoever, you are in the wrong place.
Wrong place.
But that is okay. Exit stage left.
That way.
And to all of you that love us, we love you.
Yes, we love you. Thank you for watching us. Thank you for
It's our
supporting.
last episode of this season.
I can't even believe y'all. We made it through a whole season.
We made it through.
Oh Lord, this feel like a job.
And we ain't even been doing
we
this
don't
a
get
year
paid
yet.
for.
I know. We started in August.
We haven't even been doing it a year.
Oh damn, my 1 year anniversary is coming.
It
up.
is.
I
Oh
have to
my
do
God.
something exciting for that.
Celebrate.
It's our anniversary. Anniversary. Yeah, we should do something. Y'all should put in the comments if you have any ideas of what you would like us to do for our anniversary episode.
Yes. Any suggestions?
Mm-hmm.
We're looking for them.
Yep.
So yeah, we're going to go ahead and jump into the episode.
So, recap.
And we have to recap the last two episodes because we didn't have one on the last episode. So we have the Liar Pants on Fire,
Lord Jesus.
which was with Miss Ying Ying.
Yeah.
Which
And
was
Brian's
absolutely-
old line
Oh
ass.
God, Brendan.
Because he was named that way, and so he had issues.
Brent.
Because
Don't be trying to get my wine.
she said, wait a minute.
I don't
She said, I might need some.
Your sister messed it up for you.
Uh-oh.
Brent.
So, you want to start with that one first? I feel like the things in that episode, like, that still had me thinking about it after we had finished was, what exactly did he do in that dang on apartment, man? Like, why did you bring her back there? Like, why did any of that even have to be done? You were lonely. Everybody left you
The
alone.
thing that still bothers me was the confession to the side chick of, I've done this plenty of times. I've killed this many people, but
Yeah.
like, we never found any follow-up on that. Or
Right.
if there was accuracy to it.
Or any real research in to see if there was any accuracy.
Or even like, him simply lying of, what? Like, no, I was at home all day.
I played video games, guys. I am innocent.
Like, if the police coming to you to ask you about your car,
They already know.
They already know. And it's like, nah, you don't give yourself up, but you gotta come up with something better
There's
than that.
Or how about
timestamp
if
of
you already
everything.
know you didn't did something, attorney me, please. Stop talking.
Want to speak to my attorney.
I would like to speak to
You
my
gonna go to
attorney.
the police station at
Not a
midnight
public
thinking they just
defender.
wanted to ask you how you doing, ask you about your car.
Like they about to get you some
Because it was
Cheetos
such
and a
an
freaking
amazing
Coke.
car.
Right, the car. They're so unusual.
If you pull up to court and you got a public defender, baby, you going to jail. you going straight to
Unless
jail.
you get one of those ones that's like a pro bono and they out here trying to do the good work of the people, you going to jail. Just go
Could you
ahead.
imagine though? Like they're like, oh, we're gonna assign you a public defender, and they come in and their suits all messy, like they're
Right, hold on. Let me get this together.
So they're like,
Better Call Saul.
but like, so okay, I'm your public defender. Okay, and your name's Karen, right?
No, oh, right. Oh, no.
No, sorry.
Wait, you the one with the DUI, right?
Right?
No.
No, I'm in
What?
here for murder.
Motherfucker, I'm about to go to jail.
Murder! You killed Oh, my bad. Okay, Your Honor.
Hold on, let me get my files.
Wait,
Slow my bad, big dog.
You plead not guilty or guilty?
Guilty.
Did you do it?
Oh, please.
Right.
I went to law school, didn't you?
I got my degree online.
Oh, Phoenix.
In my own time,
I'm guilty.
education connection.
Yeah, I bring that picture last week.
What's the IDC college? ICDC college? Oh, baby, your ass is going.
I went to DeVry.
You're going to jail.
Those
you went to
pictures have always been funny. I went
Please.
to DeVry.
And they give you hands-on training and make sure you get a job. So, there's that.
So.
Well, anyway, yeah, that one was a lot for me. I felt so bad for her and her family, and really, they did get some answers, but truthfully, they didn't get real answers in what happened because he was such a liar. And he didn't actually, like, it was almost as though he was using every opportunity he could to just only shell out a little bit of information. In that whole interview that he did, and I mean, he talked for 40 some minutes, he didn't actually start to come clean of anything right until the end when they were like, now look, it's midnight. We did not bring you down here to chat about your car. We know, we know something. And he's like, no, you guys said the video. And they're like, we didn't release all the video. And then he like, oh, I got to be honest now. I got to tell him something. And then he over there shaking and crying and
shaking in his boots.
The thing is, they never found her body, right?
Right. Because he never told. Like, he never told. And he dismembered it is the crazy part. Like, well, that's what he told the girlfriend.
That he decapitated her.
Yeah. So he was wild.
He must have did something with all the blood that was in there.
Yeah. And then gonna tell it was a nosebleed. A nosebleed, sir?
All that blood from your nose,
you
would probably be
dead.
in a coma.
Dead. Called insanguinated.
Then, for the episode Boning.
Yeah, last week's episode, which was Boning Bits.
It was awful.
It was
awful. All those young boys.
And I know we laughed a lot in the middle.
And I know you guys hate that, but we don't care.
But it was actually a needed relief to prepare.
Especially going right into that, like, because it was, like, we had said it at the beginning, it was a trigger warning because it gets.
Yeah, it was rough. I mean, it started out terrible. His whole upbringing, he
was one of those cases where you can't say whether or not he did the things he did, because whether it was because that's who he was or because his past. Because his past was just so horrible.
I believe that actually could be a real, like, case study of how to create a psychopath.
Yes.
That was
because
most.
Because this little boy was gay.
And not only that, but like his parents and his mom, his mom's lack of concern, and I'm not trying to put it all on the mom because the dad should have concern too.
The dad was messed up too, especially because he was doing the whole physical abuse. But
I feel like as a mom, you're like that nurturing part. You are like at the end of the day, you are the responsible party for your child.
Yeah. You
are the person who is supposed to protect them. And how do you bring them to the person that abused you? That's wild. That the whole story broke my heart. It was terrible. Terrible. I went home, like, we were drinking here. I went home and I had a drink, and it was late. And I had a drink before I went to bed because I was like, this is just awful. I couldn't get it out of my head. I'm like, all those victims and the way they just discarded them.
A lot of these cases really do be heavy, for real. Like, you think about that shit and you just like, this girl was minding her business. And then, often, like, the kids got involved in shit.
So often I think about the one with the kids in the washer and dryer.
That should be, like, I'm not going to say it haunts me, but it's just like, I try to think, like, okay, so not even the kids, because, like, it's like they innocent kids, they don't know what's going on. But, like, what drives you as a person to be like, well, one, I'm gonna harm anybody, but two, I'm gonna harm kids.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's just like,
I think in the case of him, like, his whole, whatever those meters are that are inside you, whatever makes you have empathy, all of that was broken. It was all broke. That's what I think made him harm people, because there was never any empathy shown upon him, like, in that background. Like, he had no one showing him any, so how is he supposed to know how to show anybody else?
Everywhere he went, he was abused. Anyway,
I would like to let you know, though, remember, and this is complete sidebar, guys, because we're going on a side conversation, But remember how I was asking y'all earlier off camera if y'all had heard of Anna Delvey?
Yes.
If y'all think I'm delusional about my dark chocolate, just go look up Anna Delvey.
No, I don't think you're delusional about your dark chocolate. I know you are. I will definitely go.
Shots fired.
Hello.
Pew 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 pew.
Okay, y'all see all of this chocolate over here.
What's his name?
Look at
Soulja Boy.
No, she was for real.
Okay, we gonna end this. We gonna end this right now. This is not going into season 2. Lou, this is a little intervention, baby. You not dark chocolate.
You said her name was who?
Anna Delvey.
Oh, you talking about the Anna Delvey?
That fake heiress.
Yeah, Lou, you not dark chocolate. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to break it to you.
I'm
But
looking.
I only tell you because I love you.
Well, she thought she was dark skinned.
No, she thought that she was an heiress.
Oh.
She was trying to sell that story. So I'm just saying, in the level of delusional, I was only very little delusional in comparison to her delusions.
Okay, if we're comparing, then sure. In comparison.
And wasn't this a
Yes, TV
a
show.
TV show?
Yep, that's how I actually got to the whole story, and then I started listening to her podcast.
What was the name of the movie? I'm at the TV show.
Inventing Anna.
Yes.
Yeah. Shout outs to Anna. Girl, do you, boo boo. Believe what you want to believe.
Believe what
The Lulu tell it was sometimes Trululu.
Yeah.
Except for skin color.
I'm chocolate.
Unless you stay out in the sun and slow roast
It's like
for 100 days.
the opposite of Uncle Ruckus from Boondocks. And how he says he has vitiligo, and that's why
I get vitiligo.
Coco, what color do I look to you?
I only see in black and white.
Exactly, so I look black, right?
yeah, you black. You black.
As fuck.
Not dark. Not dark black, but you black.
You black.
You black.
And I'm black, y'all. And I'm black, y'all.
I'm black and black. Black, y'all. Okay.
Yeah, so that's our recaps on our episodes.
Yes. And so this episode, we're wrapping up the season. As we said, this is our last episode of the season. And so there were just some things that we wanted to kind of like backtrack on to get some clarification. More so episodes from season 1. And then
Damn, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, yep.
And then when we jump back into season 3, we'll end with recapping, anything that might have been, looked over in season 2. And we'll just go like that. You guys, we are learning as we go, trying to find the best process for it. Trying to make sure that we're putting out the best content and constantly trying to get better at it. So thank y'all for sticking with us through this second season.
It's the loyalty for me.
Yes.
As Lou said, if you have any suggestions or anything, please just make sure you guys let us know. But we did want to go ahead and give some updates to the Idaho case.
And we know that it's not the Midwest.
Yes, we understand that. We understand it.
It was our first episode.
Yep.
So
there are some things that we just wanted to add because things have changed and progressed since we actually did the episode. As far as when we did the episode, there were a few things that we had left out and we wanted to add that had actually occurred, but we just didn't cover. And it was purely just from kind of forgetting to add it in there.
And it being our first episode and still learning. So.
Nervous.
And then there were some new developments, things that happened.
I just feel like, in my personal opinion, if you guys are following this case outside of listening to us, I feel like this man is going to walk away scot-free when it's all said and done.
I feel like there has been a lot of delays. There's a lot of delay tactics, a lot of stalling, and a lot of things that are not being brought for clarity, which makes me feel like there's one or two things that are happening. Either they're not bringing it forward because they're going to utilize it as information that will happen in the case to prosecute him, or it is things that they are not going to touch because it can bring out other things that they don't want to share.
I say let hell crack wide open.
I could get with that because we've talked about just how some stuff just didn't add up, with the 2 survivors.
I feel like them girls definitely did play a part in this. And if y'all watching this, I said what I said because I feel like y'all had a connection with them other girls dying in that house. Like, nobody just... If there is... Okay, so first of all, let's make it make sense. If somebody was to come into my house right now, God forbid, and off 2 of us, no, off 3 of us, and there's 4 of us in here.
And he was not
on screen.
They ain't got no connection to any of us.
They ain't got no connection to
visibly saw one of you.
Yeah.
He looked you dead in your face.
If I'm the one that's still remaining,
something going on.
Something is gonna be like, okay, she must have sent him in here.
The commotion that comes from
a
stabbing.
Yeah, a killing.
They were being stabbed.
And in a doorway.
Do y'all know
it's
what
not like
for somebody
and the fact that even though you saw him, 911 wasn't called for hours later. 8 hours later.
Them bitches had something to do with it. They had everything to do with it.
There were a few things, if we, just to get into it, since we hopping straight in there, y'all.
In there.
For those who don't know, it's from our first episode and it was titled "Now Why Am I in It?"
Now go watch it.
And
listen.
Right. The reason why we titled that was because it kind of just felt like they pulled this random guy to be the suspect.
Yeah.
And so we just kind of looked at it from his point of view, now how the hell did I get in this? So that's where the title of the first episode came from.
And honestly, it could have been a situation. So after listening to the story, reading multiple takes, and even the girls after this murder happened, how they dipped off to other states or dipped off to other areas, to their home states and shit. It still looked kind of fishy. Now, anytime somebody is wrapped up in a crime, wrapped up in a court case, hell, even people who have to go and be a part of a jury, they tell you don't leave town, stay close by, things like that.
But I think that was a tactic too.
Right. And the other thing that threw me off is
the girl had an attorney. Let's just be real. That was a tactic. That girl had an attorney. Her attorney knows what the rules are. They know that in Idaho, they don't have to compel you to come back here. That was a tactic.
Agrees.
If you really want to be real about it, that was a tactic.
And it just was fishy to me because either that dude, I feel like a part of it if the dude had some type of involvement in it, I would think that the dude tried to date one of them or something like that and got turned down and that his feelings hurt, or one of the girls liked this dude and she well, if you like me, you will go off these bitches for me. Ain't no way you about to kill all these people in this house and knowing there's other living beings inside this house. Normally people don't want no witnesses, so they gonna air it the fuck out and take everybody in there down. And I just felt like it felt like a setup.
Yes, it truly did. It was like you couldn't even write it no better, a setup. Because even if you didn't know about the one that was downstairs on the lower floor, you knew that girl that you looked at.
Yeah.
You saw that. So you were so tired from killing the other ones that you're not going to get that one.
Why would she see him? You see a stranger in the house. You hear... Because she said something that she heard somebody say something like...
She said she thought that she heard girl playing with her dog. Then she thought she heard someone at a door. That's where they said the DoorDash came at 4 o'clock in the morning. Again, I don't understand what's going on in Idaho because here, where it is more populated in Idaho, we don't have DoorDash at 4 a.m.
Nope.
But DoorDash came at 4 a.m. So there was somebody at the door. She heard someone coming in and they was playing with the dog at 4 o'clock in the morning. And then she heard another commotion and she heard, did she say it sounded like somebody cried out?
Yeah.
And all of that, none of that prompted call 911.
Then you see a stranger in your house.
Right.
And you still don't call 911. 911 was not called until 8 hours later. And it's not like they slept through it because one of the girls was also tweeting or not tweeting.
They called people to the house. They called friends to the house. People. Who does that? And there's dead bodies in here. Ain't none of y'all calling the cops for 8 hours. We having powwows, communications, and discussions, and ain't nobody calling the police. Talking about some, you thought they were unconscious. His throat was slit, and he was in a doorway. So that's the first thing you saw. It's wild. But some things to add about Brian. What was his last name? Kohlberger. When we talked about him before and about the car and about his night drive, so he couldn't possibly have done it. I believe that
he was out driving alone.
He was out driving alone. He does it.
Somebody died? That is gonna forever.
Listen, who died? No.
Oh Lord, who died?
And
who did the body?
So we talked about his dad coming across the country to pick him up, to take him home during that break, which in itself is odd because this is a grown man, a grown man. He drives all fine by himself because remember he does all these night drives all by himself. He does that all the time. That's his alibi. But now he needs his dad to hop on a plane, to come to him, to drive back, because driving across country is so hard for him.
So scary.
But in the process of his drive back, they were actually pulled over like 3 times.
Damn.
Yeah. One of the interactions, you can actually see a video if you look online, and we'll link it to this, where he and his dad are pulled over, and the conversation it's kind of weird. The dad is talking to the cop, but Brian's, the way he's looking, the way he's responding is very strange. And they had already put out an APB for the vehicle in Idaho, in that Moscow area, because remember the video from a Ring camera, or it was either a Ring camera or a delivery truck, I can't remember. One of the two.
That spotted his vehicle?
That spotted the white vehicle at the end of the block.
I don't know. I know something about they had a witness.
I think it was on camera, though, of the vehicle. Okay. And they had an APB out for that vehicle because it was the only vehicle that didn't belong on that street around the time of the occurrence of the murders. But they had not released it like... When you put an APB out, generally it is for the area. It's not like you go state to state and they have that information. So when the trooper pulled them over, because they're just driving on the highway, headed home, they didn't have a description out for this vehicle. So the cop pulls them over because of a traffic violation. The dad's talking to him. Brian's acting weird. But they were stopped 3 times. Like, what kind of driving are you doing that you stopped 3 times? What has you so distracted on the road that you stopped 3 times?
What kind of luck you got to get stopped 3 times?
What are you doing? What's happening here? What is happening?
Well, I have some more information as far as like background information on Kohlberger.
Because he also has a history, y'all.
Yes,
this is the part that we forgot to add in, which we did know about, but we forgot to add it in.
So, there's a couple of tidbits. So, at one point, he did actually interview for a job with the local police in April of 2022.
Because he was working on a criminal, remember, his background, and this is just a recap from the episode, which we did cover. He was getting a degree in criminal justice. He was looking to be in law enforcement.
Yep. And so, it just says that he did interview with them. Of course, he didn't get the job, but he did interview. Then, this was like a few months before the murders. He actually had a warning issued to him at a local bar.
Okay.
He was warned about his interactions with women working and frequenting a bar in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. The owner explained that the bar staff scan IDs of all patrons and that they can add notes that pop up in their system. Staff put in there, hey, this guy makes creepy comments. Keep an eye on him. He'll have 2 or 3 beers and then just get a little too comfortable.
Okay.
So the owner added that he would often sit alone at the bar, observing and watching other patrons.
Creep alert. Creep alert number 2.
And he would ask female staff and customers questions about where they lived and who they were at the bar with.
Why you need to know that? Worry about yourself. Worry about what you doing. Don't worry about me. And don't watch me, watch God. Okay?
And it also was stated that if the women were interested in conversing with him, he would get upset with them a little bit. And at one point, he even called a female staff member a bitcha,
a bitch.
You know what?
When she wouldn't answer his questions.
Here's a Lou public service announcement for all the men that are watching, or even just for people. This is actually a people in general. Just because someone speaks to me does not mean I have to respond. I have the right in myself. If I don't feel like giving you the time of day, I don't have to. You don't know what's going on with me. Mind your business. I didn't ask for you to speak to me. And it is not me being an a-hole. It is me. It could be multiple things. It could possibly be I didn't hear you, and so I didn't respond. It could be I don't want to, and so I don't respond.
You could have just had a day.
I could have had a day, and I know my response ain't going to be right. How about if someone doesn't respond to you?
Keep it pushing.
Keep on moving. Mm-hmm. You don't have to call me out my name. You don't have to like it, but you don't have to insult me because I'm grown and I decide I'm not going to respond.
And that's
Get
the
over
part
it.
they don't understand.
Yeah. Like when we was having the conversations in our mixed bag and we was talking about get over it, it's the maximum level of get over it.
Get over
Bye.
Yeah, and so the owner actually did approach him. He went up to him and he said, "Hey, Brian, welcome back. We appreciate you coming back. I just wanted to talk to you real quick and make sure that you're going to be respectful this time and we're not going to have any issues." Can you guess what Brian's response was? I'll give you a hint.
Can I take one guess?
Boy, fuck you.
So the manager said, I just want to touch base and make sure we're not going to have any issues. And he was like, oh, we definitely going to have some issues.
Nope.
Okay.
Okay, but here's a hint. It ties in to a couple of our recent episodes and what the suspects said.
We had issues?
Issues?
When was there a problem?
Exactly.
Delulu. Real Delulu.
I don't know what to talk about. You totally have me confused.
Yeah, that was a different person. I am so friendly.
I know you run the ID and all, but you have me confused.
Yeah, you don't know what you're talking about.
And they said that he never returned to the bar after that conversation.
I bet he didn't.
So, more information about Mr. Brian.
Brian.
So we did talk about him, him and his father being pulled over.
Mm-hmm.
Boo! There was also
a case that he was involved with, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
There was a case where he was involved with.
Well, they initially believed he was a suspect, and upon further investigation, it was kind of just dropped. Oh, and the whole issue with the cell phone. Remember with the cell phone and his parents dropped the charges because he had... Hold on. Let me get my facts.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, I got some more information for y'all, too.
Okay.
Okay. So, while y'all looking that up...
Uh-huh.
Did y'all know that Brian followed all 3 of the female victims on Instagram?
That's what I'm saying. Okay, so when I say that I think that those girls had something to do with it, the reason why I think because there was my theory, this is a theory, this is an allegedly, we don't have no facts to it because a lot of things have been held. However, the girls were all living together and one moved out. And I think that there was some form of jealousy or differences. And the attention of it wasn't like he just found them randomly on his own. I think that those girls brought them to his attention. And then he started doing his creeper vibes, things that he's already done.
He messaged one of them
following
on
them.
Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
It was basically just him saying like, "Hey, how are you?" But he kept saying it even though she wasn't responding.
Okay.
And then
how many times did he actually? Does it say how many times he messaged without them responding?
It just says several times.
Okay, so he was probably like, guys, here's another clue for you. Here's a little gem from Lou. If you're messaging a girl and you're like, oh, she's playing hard to get. If you message more than 2 times and she don't respond, she don't want to talk to you.
She's not playing hard to get. She's not playing.
She don't want to.
She said, leave me alone.
Yeah. How about that?
And then it's also allegedly said that he did visit the Mad Greek restaurant where both Morgan and Cornado worked as servers in the weeks leading to the slayings. But
so he was kind of stalking them, probably like setting out a path of how he was going to do what he was going to do. How they
navigate.
Because, my mom always used to tell me, you have to change it up because people watch you. She would give us little life lessons. Like, you just have to, you don't do the same thing every day. You don't always go home the same way. You be careful with your routines and the things that you're just doing, and you doing it on autopilot because somebody is watching
you.
And so for the tidbit that I had about him, this is about his previous offense with the theft. So he actually was charged with a misdemeanor because he had been thought to have it's not even thought. He stole his sister's cell phone, and then probably his parents at some point were like, we can't take charges out on our kid. Because what happened was the cell phone was missing. He took the cell phone to a kiosk to sell it. And and then when the parents realized, oh shit, this is our child that stole the damn phone, charges were dismissed.
But what's funny with those type of machines and stuff? People who think that because you could turn in a phone and it's not active in it, they feel like they could just drop it in there. An IMEI number is always going to be attached to your name.
Of course.
Regardless if the phone is on or not.
Right.
And people always go to those kiosks and return those phones to sell them to get money. But them phones always come back flagged as stolen. Like somebody did that. Bless you.
Bless you.
Somebody
got another one.
Bless you in advance. But when I was working at a particular place, somebody broke into into T-Mobile across the street, and once they got all the phones, they even got the dummy phones.
Oh, so there's some
dummy
dummies.
Phones don't even have IMEI numbers in them. Yeah. And so they
they don't have one of them.
They end up turning the phones in, and as they were still going, the police somehow, I don't know if it's through that machine or what, but I guess the phones were already flagged as stolen. So as they was dropping them in, the police pulled up on that ass.
Good.
And they were chasing them all around my former job. And I thought it was so fucking brilliant.
Tell me they got it on camera and they rolled back that beautiful big footage.
Years ago, and they tripped over rugs. It was like watching Tom and Jerry in real life. I was like, what the fuck?
Get them.
But yeah, like, people gotta stop doing shit that is trackable. That's following people on social media, and you probably liking hella posts. People, when shit comes to light, people go and pick up on them little tiny details.
Y'all listen. If they can watch, like, if you've ever watched that documentary about Don't Fuck With Cats.
I heard it. I wanted to watch that. I think you told me about that a long time ago. Somebody told. I think it was you though.
From video, the people on the internets, in the interwebs, constructed where this actually took place, what apartment it happened in. So don't think you can't be found. If you leave any kind of digital breadcrumb, they're gonna find it. They're gonna find you. What you do in the dark will come to the light.
And just because you think you don't be on social media like that, you still have a digital footprint.
Yep.
And so like one of the like reporters or police officers or something, he was like, he basically did everything wrong. He was connected to the car. They got his phone in the air. His blood was found on the sheet.
He wasn't paying attention.
Anything that you could have done to get caught from this murder, you did it.
He wasn't paying attention in them criminal justice classes.
I'm gonna do everything wrong.
Yeah.
Right?
This motherfucker is guilty.
Guilty.
Well, I have information.
Don't make me flip this table over.
As far as where this case is going.
It's going down. It ain't going no.
It's going down.
Damn.
It's going down. My baby.
His whole world's upside down.
Sleep don't come easy.
Oh, we damn sure ain't coming to that ass.
That thing up.
They're so unserious.
So unserious. Okay, but anyway, so during a February 28th court hearing, prosecutors revealed, I know they was just pissed about this, that Brian Koberger plans to call on, guess how many witnesses?
Oh, at least 25.
12.
I say 25.
400.
Please stop. Ain't nobody got
$1 million.
How do you get 400 witnesses?
Brian. Why you need 400 witnesses if you was driving in a car alone?
Where do you get 400 witnesses?
He was like, I want you to take the whole highway. Every road I drove up on, I saw this license plate. In fact, I got a...
Where do you pull 400 witnesses from? You eventually gonna have to stop pulling shit out your ass.
No, listen, he was like, I want my kindergarten teacher. She gonna tell him how nice I was. And I did my ABCs and I learned my numbers real good.
I don't even know 400 people.
Right, okay. I barely even 40 people.
I know 400 people.
I have 700 friends on the book.
I know 400 people. But I don't know 400 people that will show up to testify.
I'm gonna tell you this. I know 400 people. I don't want 400 people to testify about me. Because they gonna talk about me. They gonna be like, she sometimes booty.
No, I'm telling you. No, I wouldn't even want that many people testifying for me. You know what, matter of fact?
The story gonna get too mixed up.
If it ever came down to the God forbid something happened to me and we in my funeral, don't even have a mic on where people could remember me with shit.
Nah, we do it.
No, they can remember me.
And everybody get 2 minutes. I'm gonna be standing there with my buzzer.
Oh, you can't stand at your own funeral.
Yeah.
You just gonna hear a buzzer.
It's gonna light up. It's gonna light up like the little spectral thing.
Every time they go for the 2 minutes, I'm gonna pop out the casket. It's gonna be right on the timer.
Somebody prop me up
Like a jet out of box.
And then they gotta reset me.
Like for real, like no, don't. I remember one time. Let's wrap this shit up.
We're gonna need to bring this to an end next.
Well, he also has some requests for his upcoming trial.
You know what? You don't get to make a request, sir. You request.
Only thing you should be requesting is the Lord's forgiveness. Power.
What kind of requests do he have? Please tell me these requests. Because I'm sick of him.
In addition to the 400 witnesses, his defense requested a cell tower investigation to help build an alibi, which would, who would have guessed, would potentially delay the trial further.
Okay, y'all. You do understand that this trial has now been set back twice. We're on our second, and this time, when they set it back, they claimed that they were doing it because they did not want to interrupt, because they know it is bringing so much media attention. They did not want to interrupt the school, calendar. So that's why they're doing it in the summer. That's why they set it up to be in June and July for the hearing dates. Mm-hmm. Because they felt like if they did it during the middle, because this is a college town, and they obviously have, school systems and stuff that are going on, they didn't want to interrupt it with this circus that's going to be surrounding the trial.
Well, that's another request. They put in a request to change the location.
Ain't nobody changing your location. Nobody even knows you. You're from Pennsylvania.
Due to the concerns of the level of media attention he's received.
Well, good. Keep it
where are we gonna change the what location is no one gonna know about this story? We're gonna go to Mars?
From Indiana.
No, we're gonna go to Mars. We're gonna go to Mars, y'all. Because that's where you have to go. Everybody in the country knows about it. It's happening, dude. Get over it.
Come to Indiana. I want to be on the jury.
Please let me be on the jury. We know what you're gonna get to.
Shut up.
Fry them. Anybody want some bacon?
Lou, we gonna fry him. The jury is in a deadlock because one of us.
I wish nothing but the worst for you.
Listen, Mary gonna be the only one who might have a little bit of sympathy for you. We over here heavy.
I don't have no sympathy.
I don't have no sympathy. I just
Baby, who this for?
and it's not even that I'm like, oh, I'm against the death penalty. I'm just like, if you get it, then that's what you deserve. If you don't, then all right. But the ones that get it and then it gets overturned later because they decided to give up more victims and stuff like that, that's the stuff that upsets me.
That's very upsetting because that is actually what a slap in the face to the now new extra victims that you add, but also to the ones that you were convicted of.
And I get
like they don't matter.
We're trying to find closure for the families and stuff.
That's
like
fine.
That. And it's like, okay, well, what have y'all done to look for these? Like, because especially like the ones where they already have like 20 victims, you know, and he showed you where these 20 victims were. Before you go to him making a deal, because he now says, well, there were actually 40. I'll tell you the location of the other 20 if you give me this deal or whatever. It's like, okay, are we going and looking at the places where he buried these other 20? Are we profiling this?
Right, and seeing what his MO would be.
To see if we can find the bodies without taking the easy way
and making a deal with him.
Okay, yeah, we'll take the death penalty off because
or doing a little bit of
live in comfort because you get to live in comfort for the rest of your life while these young women or men or whoever you've killed are dead.
Or do a little legwork, do research on him, find out what he does. What were his patterns? Where were the places that he would go? We are in 2024. Most of these cars have GPS on them. You can track it with their navigation from their phone. You can see where they've been. Then you can actually have search areas where you would look for these victims. There is no reason to continue to make these horrible deals with these bad actors.
Yeah. Well, that was one of the requests. Another request. Let's see.
I mean, he did everything but ask for a back rub.
So they do have a hearing coming up May 14th. And the judge is noted saying that he'll listen carefully to both sides before he makes a final decision.
Both sides!
On the trial date and a potential venue change.
They don't need to change the venue. I want to know what place do they want this venue to change to. That's what I would really like to hear. Where you want it to go?
A ballroom.
They've also given them until April 17th to provide more details on an alibi. As we know, what they previously said was that he was out driving alone the night of the murders.
And how long? You'd have had 2 years to come up with an alibi, sir. How come you can't come up with a clear, clean alibi?
Because he ugly. And ain't got no alibi.
U-G-L-Y.
You ain't got no alibi.
You ugly.
Yeah, you ugly.
M-A-M-A, how you think you got that way? Your mama.
Your mama.
Yeah, I feel like I'm telling y'all this. We know how the justice system works.
Yeah, they about to let this man.
They about to let this man walk up out the motherfucking.
Right.
Straight out the fucking.
A Sierra two-step, a freaking electric slide right on out the door. Whatever. He is about to skedaddle do right on out of there.
He about to walk scot-free. Watch.
Yeah. It's a lot going on.
About to be scot-free.
So.
But that is what we have on the update for the Idaho case, and we'll keep updating with that one because that is one that, and we said this when we first did it, that it's an episode that's or a case that's still ongoing. So as no information is put out, we'll try to make sure that we update you guys until it does come to a close, which doesn't seem like it's going to be anytime soon.
Yeah.
So we'll update y'all like often for like the next 5 to 7 years.
and then honestly, if something really does happen, like if they actually do try to enact justice, we might just pop up with a little pop-up episode, be like, hey y'all, guess what?
That motherfucker's guilty.
Guilty.
But I just tell you, I feel like a lot of times my intuition is pretty dead on when it comes to things like this, because I will tell you, and this is way back when our little young Trayvon, when all that stuff was going down, when it happened and they were telling us national news and what happened, and when it came out that the police had told him to leave him and the police were on the way, When I heard it then, I was like, ain't nothing gonna happen to that man.
Nope.
I called it literally like a couple of days after the young man was murdered. And what happened? Like, nothing happened. Scot-free. And so I feel like a lot of times, maybe it may be coming from a place of jadedness because of sometimes how corrupt the system can be. But it is just some things in this case and the way they line it up. And it seems like they're doing almost everything to diminish.
I don't think he's going to necessarily walk free just because of the victims.
Well, no, I think it's because of what has happened and who is involved. I think because there was other people involved, and really to get to the nitty gritty of it, you would have to implicate them because that lack of connection, it doesn't make sense why he would just.
I feel like they're also going to be like, somebody has to take the fall. You don't have four white kids murdered. They have a suspect and nobody takes the fall.
But so my issues with
the only reason why I say that is because that's what makes it, when you said the whole Trayvon Martin thing, it made me think of that. And it's because we see the unjustice system a lot in the cases we do, but we see it also a lot in our community. And I feel like if it ain't him, somebody gonna take the fall for it. They gonna, like the same way they pulled him out of nowhere, they gonna pull somebody.
I could go on about the justice system all day long. We all can. But like to Mary's point, somebody got to take the fall, and I do see her point. I feel like the person that's going to take the fall is the people that's dead. And what I mean by that is 4 dead bodies. It's 4 people that are dead. They're not going to attach that to, I'm telling you, I got this feeling they're not going to convict this man. And they can also be like, oh, even though they'll let him walk, they're like, the murderer is still out there. You know what I'm saying? So you done had this man tied up in jail. Yeah. You gonna pay him some type of handsome amount of money.
The other thing I thought was them convicting him, but then sentencing him with time served.
Baby, bye.
How much they keep pushing this thing trial.
I just got this feeling that he is gonna get off, and I like you said, they got a trial coming up in what, April, May?
Well, April is the
deadline for the alibi. The next hearing is May. Okay. They haven't actually set a date for trial.
Right. So my whole thing is how long is it gonna take for you to concoct the alibi when there's minimal evidence? It's the cell phone pinging. It's all of this.
2 years.
2 years.
It's his blood though on the knife sheath. But the thing is, they don't have the actual
knife.
Right. But
how do you know that knife sheath is actually for the knife? Come on.
What about this? Like, how many times have cases have happened where it was somebody's DNA on something and they still walk scot-free?
Yes, because it couldn't be exactly linked.
It's
a knife.
Wow, that is so wild to me though.
But in all truthfulness, it's a knife sheath. It's not the knife.
And if we wanted to get into the nitty gritty of things, if they ordered food, if it was food that was being dropped off at that house, one, why didn't the judge implicate whatever food service that they ordered from?
They kept ruling stuff out, and it makes no sense.
But that's evidence,
girl. But they keep ruling this. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. That's why he gonna walk scot free because you keep throwing. Why would you throw that out? That's evidence. If you go on there, a receipt is evidence. That could be like, say for instance, me and Mary here. She orders something. And she kills me. But the time of my death is close to the time that she got food and stuff. Who else was here?
But but listen to this. So remember on the timeline when they talk about the boyfriend and the girl were at a frat house party and they stopped at the other two were at a bar. The girl stopped at a grub truck at like 1:45 in the morning. And they were brought back. They were brought back. And then the boy and the girl, so the guy that didn't live in the house, that was just spending the night, They were brought back by a person. The person's name has never been released, but the police say they're not a suspect in this.
Why
but
not?
why? Why? Because they are the closest in time.
And they won't release the information as far as who actually made the 911 call.
I know. It's a lot of things, and that makes me think that it's, like I said at the very beginning,
there's more to it, and they'd rather
not
walk free than expose what really happened.
So it's either that, or they're not sharing it because it's critical parts of their case that they can't share.
I feel like that. I don't know. It's like I don't feel like he's going to get
adequate for what has been done.
Yes. But I don't feel like he's going to necessarily walk free. I don't know if it's going to be like a lesser charge. Where it's like one of those like BS charges where it's, you get 5-7 years.
I'm reading something that says trial for Brian Kohlberger may not take place until 2025.
That's what I'm saying. The hearing is May, but that's not the trial.
But listen, last year, this was around December, they had already pushed back the case from last summer, and they were supposed to be putting it to this summer. So now this is a new pushback that they're saying it may not happen until 2025.
I don't want to lose sight of the seriousness of this case.
Who said that?
Latah County Prosecutor Bill Thompson. We're talking about a quadruple homicide under Idaho's law. Not only are those who were killed victims, but every single one of their immediate family members is a victim. Delaying the trial for too long was a concern discussed by state prosecutors and the judge, whereas the defense team expressed worries about a trial date set too soon. How soon is too soon? It's a life.
So listen, this is another part of it that I feel like I want to call BS, because you have to give the defense adequate time to prepare a defense, but also it is supposed to happen in a timely manner. Those are actually parts of the law.
Wasn't it like a law quick and speedy
was released?
It was?
Mm-hmm.
So what did we find?
Several items were found at his home. And there were several items with stains, including cuttings of a mattress cover, a reddish-brown stain on an uncovered pillow, and a collection of dark red spots. It was stated that that's normally how, that's basically a euphemism for we found something that looks like blood.
Mm-hmm.
It might be blood from the victims, might be his blood. They don't know until they test it, but they'll be able to get DNA if it is blood. We don't know what the stains in the cover sheets look like, but again, they're looking for any kind of DNA evidence that might have come from the crime scene.
Oh wait, they did raise the house.
They did.
Yeah,
I knew they were saying they were going to tear it down, but I just feel like to me that's another problem. A couple
of months ago.
That's another problem. Like, how do you get rid of a home in a trial that has not even taken place when you don't know what evidence you can still find in there?
So they tested the presence of blood. While most items came back negative, 2 unspecified items were positive.
Okay.
Another item included on the list of seizures was a possible animal hair strand.
Because there was the dog, allegedly.
Yes, and he does not own a pet, but there was a dog there when at the home of the murders, which was found by the police when they got there.
Yeah, because the roommate at the very beginning did say that it sounded like she was playing with her dog when, like, she was in her room and she heard her roommate playing what she thought playing with her dog.
Yep. And then the other thing that's against him is that he changed his license plate on his car just days after the murders. Because
he was trying to have the vehicle, y'all. That's why his daddy flew all the way back over there to help a grown man drive home.
Is that not giving y'all this don't remind y'all of what was that back in California? It was Charles Manson.
Oh yeah, the guy that he had the little groupies.
The actress and all of them, they all got killed in their house, and it was under Charles. I'm not saying this was a cult or nothing like that.
It was a cult.
No, not. I know that was a cult. I'm talking about
this ain't a cult.
This ain't no cult. This is a weirdo motherfucker just being weird. But like this was giving me like Charles Manson vibes. Like
yeah, like we gonna sit together and sing.
Right.
Just some items that were found in the search.
Why would you demolish the house?
A knife was found.
Oh, a knife was found. I thought it said knife sheath.
No, this was in his house. What they found in his house. A knife.
Brian's house.
Yeah. A pocket knife. I'm just looking at some of the stuff. There was also he had black face mask.
Because remember the girl said that he had a ski mask.
And he had black gloves.
And don't be trying to pull no OJ. Cochran already did that trick.
If the glove doesn't fit,
we ain't a quitting. Okay, we already did that once. We made that mess up before. We ain't doing it again.
Yeah, I'm looking. Those are really the only thing that kind of stick out. He did have a green leafy substance in a plastic bag.
Oh, so he got that golden jaw.
Devil's lettuce.
He said a puff pass. He had to, help his nerves.
Yeah, murder do that.
Should have got that loud pack. Maybe he would have set his ass down somewhere and I thought about offing somebody.
Hello.
So yeah, so that's stuff that's come out now. As I said, we're still just waiting to see what will actually happen. Oh, what we didn't include was the parents being... Did we include that? The parents being asked to testify in the Pennsylvania death case?
I vaguely remember us talking about that.
Yeah, it did come out that his parents were ordered to testify before a grand jury in the family's home state of Pennsylvania in the case of a woman found dead almost a year after her sudden disappearance.
Oh, that's the one where he was a suspect, but then they kind of were like, nah, we don't have anything on him.
Yeah, so... It says that it was in regards to a 45-year-old woman named Dana Smithers. She vanished without a trace from Monroe County, where Brian was living at the time. Her remains were found a couple of months ago in a wooded area. So I don't know what's, any updates on that or what's going on there. But like I said, we'll keep up with everything so that we can let you guys know. But this is all we know on him right now.
And I mean... It does sound like there's small things like here and there, but when there is smoke, there is fire, because you don't just get smoke for no reason. I mean, it could even be a smoke machine causing the smoke, but it's something that make the smoke happen. And so, you have these things that are coming up in your history of you have creep vibes. Creep vibes actually do say something. It is not normal to give off creepy, strange vibes and to ask women weird questions for your convenience. And it's not normal to be implicated in people's disappearances. Like, how many of y'all listening have ever been implicated in, so-and-so came up missing and we want to talk to you about it?
I've never.
Never me either. What
about you?
Has that ever come up for you?
I know you got a crazy life.
I do have a very crazy life, but murder has never been on
the list.
And
I've known people.
She's just too good to get caught.
And I'm gonna tell you, I've known people that have come up missing.
Yeah,
I have. Ain't nobody ever thought I had nothing to do with it, because I don't. So my point to saying all of that is there is a reason why he is coming up. Like, what you was doing? Where were you at, sir?
Where were you on the night of?
Right. There's a reason why they're trying to get him to provide alibis, because he's doing something. Something is happening.
Something ain't right.
Something ain't right in the wall, y'all.
Ain't sitting right. But all right, that is going to
be our final episode for the season. Season 2 is complete, y'all.
As always, you can follow us on all of our many platforms: TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter,
YouTube, where you're watching us right now.
Subscribe, leave a
and
comment,
share, y'all.
Share the video, share the sound. If you are listening on our Spotify, Apple Music, iHeartRadio, we literally are everywhere, y'all. That's the one thing we came into season 2 with. The last place we needed to get on was YouTube and YouTube Music, and we have done it.
We're here.
We are everywhere.
I mean, tell so y'all know how many people actually watch Discovery Investigation is a comfort show. You can add us to the list as a comfort show.
Yes.
I mean, they're more serious than we are, but you know.
But it don't
we just got a little few screws loose. We laugh a lot, but you know,
yes,
it's okay.
And you know what? Honestly, I feel like we say the things that people think when they watch those episodes.
Yes, I agree with that. So please, if you want to leave a comment, please do. You can email us at murkedinthemidwest@gmail.com. Some things to look forward to in season 3. We are going into themes, and so each season is going to be a theme.
Yep.
And so please be on the lookout for that. We also may be changing location, so we just do what we want. So
right.
So be on the lookout for that.
Whose house is this? This is an Airbnb.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. A very cute one.
Very cute Airbnb. Period.
So yes, we may be changing location. We are hoping to have some merch. I know we've said it a couple of times, but we're hoping to get the merch out there for season 3.
Crop tops.
Yes, I'm all about
stickers.
crop top. So you can put them on your little cup, like you could be cute and just put them on your cup.
Well, I'm gonna make a Murked in the Midwest pasty.
Ooh. Now come on now. Like a little knife with a little blood dripping. Just like.
Share your creative ideas with us.
And also, y'all know we do our business of appreciation. So if you are somebody that does merch or does stickers or anything like that, please send us a comment. Leave
if you print t-shirts or whatever.
So, cause we love supporting. If y'all don't do it, we gonna do it. So you might as well get this money. So please be on the lookout for season 3. We will be coming back to you April 22nd. We cannot
after
wait.
my birthday.
And after y'all get y'all taxes done, so y'all can be chill, relax.
Yeah, because my taxes ain't done.
That's all right.
It's okay.
She gonna get it done.
I never
we
get
believe in
anything.
You. Bye.
Bye.